welcome to Techbytes with Technext. Here, we bring to you a brief roundup of everything exciting about the tech space across Africa and indeed the entire globe. From startup announcements to new inventions and the latest buzz on the social space. We will be sharing industry important highlights and exploring the news within the news. We will also be bringing industry experts to share opinions about major news for the week. And most importantly, watch out for our exciting future for this week. We are sure it will be an exciting session you won't want to miss. Let us begin.
Yeah, what's up, people? You're welcome to Techbytes with Technext. We're set to bring to you everything exciting about the tech space in Nigeria, across Africa, and indeed the entire globe. My name is David Afolayo, and I have with me our foundational tech bro, Dami.
Hi, everyone. Good
Yes. And today is going to be an open mic day. So I have some other teammates at Technext here where we're going to be discussing an exciting topic, politics and the social media space. So I have with me Onye and Dennis. Can you guys say hi?
Hello.
Hi guys.
Yeah. So Onye and Dennis, they're also foundational tech bro and Texas. Alright. So this week is Africa Day celebration, and there had been a lot of exciting fun-filled activities in the space from a number of tech companies. We had a YouTube Day and a couple of other things. At Technext, we're also marking our own African Day announced week. There's going to be a celebration at the office, so you can join us if you can, right? So today we'll be looking at some exciting updates from the tech space. You have to stick with us to enjoy the news, and let's go. So first, around the world in 10 minutes, tech news around the world in 10 minutes. First, let's start with Africa. Okay, today most of our stories will be from Africa. The Central African Republic is set to launch Africa's first crypto investment hub. Dami, what do you think about that?
I think the first thing that struck me in that project is the name, Project Songo. Like,
is it Songo
or Shongo? Yeah.
A lot of people were confused about that.
Hope my crypto will not be struck by thunder. But actually, I think it's cool. Although I'm still not quite sure why it's Central African Republic that is pushing this whole crypto thing in Africa. Because I mean, they are like one of the
least
expected countries in Africa.
Yeah.
I mean, even the economy has been a whole of shaky. That's why in the International Monetary Fund has also been telling them that they should not go ahead with it and all. But it seems like the president and his guys are quite adamant and they still want to go ahead.
Yeah. The announcement was made by Faustin Achang Twadera, the president of CAR, and the details of when the hub will be up and how it's going to function, we are not yet sure, but we know that the hub will be having a crypto island and digital wallet and a digital wallet to attract global enthusiasts. And already there is a website up and people are already making interest. So
I think you have a wait list already.
There's a wait list. And like you said, Central African Republic has not a very good economy, and the internet penetration rate is quite low, so people are very skeptical about the possibility of this happening. But yeah, if the people want something, I'm sure they can get it.
It won't be bad to have the real life Wakanda
in Africa.
I mean, there's one that Akon has been saying he wants to do since
in Senegal.
Yeah, in Senegal. Let's see which one comes first.
That has been audio Wakanda. All right, so let's go to Ghana. So Ghana has become the first country in West Africa to have a low Earth orbit satellite gateway station. This follows an announcement by OneWeb that it has successfully completed an installation of 15 OneWeb antennas. This gateway station will be located in Tema. That's around Accra. It's around Accra, and it will be managed by a combination of other companies, SMP, OneWeb, and Comsys. It will be operational later this year. I know Nigeria had launched into the satellite like twice, and we can't find those satellites.
Those things did not launch from Nigeria.
I know Nigeria launched.
We have a. Okay, let me not talk. We have an agency
Yeah.
that is space agency.
Yeah.
NS. What's their name again? NSC. What's
something.
and bro,
I think it's NSA or NCA. I don't know, but
NSIA, I think, or something.
no, NSIA is Investment Authority.
Oh, is it?
Okay. Yeah, but Nigeria has launched into the space twice, and I know on each of the occasion we had launched from China. But at some point they said they cannot find a satellite in space. I don't understand that part.
It went out of orbit.
How would the satellite get missing?
I mean, slowly Ghana is becoming like the go-to spot for tech in West Africa.
Indeed, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Ghana,
people are launching there.
I mean, not very many people know that Ghana is the aviation hub for West Africa. So
Wow.
you see connecting flights that are not even available in Nigeria right there. I mean, a lot of people have talked about the difference between our airport and theirs and all. But
Okay. When will Technext enact like a full remote work policy, so I can probably move to Accra before they start saying we should collect visa.
Okay. So to the next one, and this one is a crypto story. There is a report that has said that there is widespread insider trading on Binance and Coinbase, major crypto platforms across the world. This report was done by Argos, a firm that manages employee trading, released the report and said that major crypto exchanges have perpetuated insider trading by, I mean, if you ask what is insider trading is providing information that is not publicly known to a set of people that could help them benefit from buying or selling a stock. And according to a report by Wall Street Journal, this had helped a few people benefit immensely from the crypto investment across time. People have bought when things were cheaper and sold when things rise because they had an information that it was going to rise. Let's put it out there. Coinbase, Binance, and FTX have all denounced this story and said it is not true. But what do you think about it?
When I saw the reports, I just knew that yes, this was long time coming, because you see lots of these whales and these big guys in the crypto space, and they get lots of these signals and they act on it. And you might argue that, I mean, those things are, from years of experience trading crypto and everything, but crypto has been around majorly for trading in less than 5 years, like 10 years max. And as I just knew that something was wrong somewhere, and apparently these guys have come out to say, there's actually insider trading going on. If it's true and if it's investigated and it's confirmed, these platforms will be in trouble, because I think they're all incorporated in the US, and the US is always very, very crazy about those things.
So they've all denied, but
of course nobody will come out and say
they've all denied. And analysts within this space are really calling on SEC, the US, to really regulate.
Because I mean, it's not fair on every other person out there. You put 100,000 and you're going back and nowhere to the 10,000.
But the argument of some people is the essence of the blockchain is decentralization to ensure that nobody specifically can determine what people do, and you can control yourself. But at some point we need to really now talk about regulations.
Those are like two opposite things in terms of blockchain. Blockchain and regulations are like
they don't gel
at all. So it's going to take a lot of welding to bring them together.
It's exciting that we are seeing this report just a
week or 2 weeks after the
Terra Luna USD issue, because I mean, from the conversation we had with Osamide last week, is the point is some people knew
that thing was going to happen, and they began to dump,
and they started offloading their Luna USD, and a couple of people, the prices had to crash, because when you have a sludge of supply, there is really going to be the demand problem, and the prices will crash. So for those who are holding those coins, Luna, USD, stable coins, the coins are no longer stable.
It's not stable. Luna is not planning to launch. I think they are launching today.
Luna 2.0,
27. So let's see how it goes, But Do your own research. Bottom line.
Crypto bros are crying. Yeah. So finally, I beg Flutterwave. They are returning as sponsors for Big Brother Nigeria. I think the first story is that Big Brother Nigeria is coming
back. Yeah.
And someone was saying this morning that why are we having Big Brother Nigeria in an election year? You don't want to really distract people from the conversation.
I don't understand. It's a show now. It will continue. They won't stop because of election now, will they? I mean, it's none of anybody's concern. If you want to watch BB Nigeria, watch. I've never watched any, so it doesn't stop me.
Do you really feel that having Big Brother Nigeria would not distract people from the issues around the election?
People will always be distracted by several other things. There's Champions League final this weekend. I most likely will not even read anything on politics because my head will be focused on Champions League final. World Cup is coming in November, and people will definitely be distracted by that. And that's just for me, who is a very avid person. I'm sure there are several other people who have other things that they are very concerned about, and it doesn't make any difference actually.
Okay, so we'll be having a conversation on social media and politics shortly. So I'm very sure that we're going to look at that as well. So, but let's note that this is Abeg's second tenure as a sponsor of Big Brother Nigeria. I know we did a special
headline sponsor.
Headline sponsor.
I mean, that's
headline
massive.
Sponsor. Yeah, headline sponsor. Flutterwave is coming in as associate. Yeah. Flutterwave was associate 2 editions ago. Last time,
Patricia, right?
Last time it was Patricia.
Okay.
So 2 editions ago it was Flutterwave and Kuda. So the question is, I mean, we wrote an article about this, but of course we know that there is a very significant volume of viewership for Big Brother Nigeria, and some of these startups use it as marketing strategy. But why do you think Abeg is doing this again? They've gotten a lot of downloads.
Yeah, they got a lot of downloads, but I'm not quite sure about the retention rate for those downloads, because beyond the BB Nigeria period and some months after where lots of celebrities were doing giveaways on Abeg, I'm not quite sure anymore. People even used to have their Abeg tags on their profiles on Twitter. Many people have removed it because maybe it wasn't working anymore. And I know they started selling tickets on Abeg too around the December period. Most of the shows we had were sold, their tickets were sold on Abeg. So maybe this time is just to retain those people that have downloaded the apps and probably get more people. I'm not quite sure what their ball game is, but
to be honest, at this point,
like
I mean, there was an article on TechCrunch last year about Abeg's retention.
Yeah, retention.
To be honest, at this point, I know Abeg had a lot of users, but I
went from like 20,000 to like 1 point something million downloads.
I even use Piggyvest,
and you see Abeg there.
Yeah, and I see Abeg like an automatic account for me, but I can't exactly say what I need to use the Abeg app for. That's one. 2, so how does Abeg intend to make money from the app? What's the business model? Those are questions that are born in my head. I'm not saying you should provide an answer for it, but if they are going to be acquiring more customers, most certainly the data is useful for them, and maybe they have something in the works that we are not yet clear about.
Possibly. I know they are owned by Piggy Tech. Yeah, which is the parent company for Piggyvest, and I'm sure those guys are not just pouring money into these ventures without maybe a long-term game or something. I don't want to say what I don't know.
I remember someone tweeting last year that now that I've downloaded their Abeg app, what should I do? And someone said Abeg.
I know they were signing deals with some stores and all last year as well, so you can pay with your Abeg. I mean, but my issue with all these lots of fintech apps is, at what point do we say, okay, it's sufficient? Because I mean, I have my bank app, I have several other apps that I use to make payments.
That was a raging argument on social media. I know it's very difficult for us to really have a closure about it, because the question is, do we need more fintechs or don't we? But something I've learned about innovation is innovation does not have does not have a limit.
There's no latecomer.
Yeah, people were using social media platforms before TikTok came. And if TikTok founders had actually thought about it, maybe they wouldn't have created TikTok.
Fair enough.
And TikTok came and we realized there is a part to social media that TikTok feels that was not there before. So I'm very sure that we still have space for more innovation.
Yeah, I mean several. Especially the ones that can make me make money, please. Shooting my shot out there.
Alright guys, so that's the news around the world in 10 minutes. I hope we spent below 10 minutes. Now we're going to be having our conversation for the day. The role of social media in electioneering in Africa. The role of social media in electioneering in Africa. We know that it's election season in Nigeria. The last election was in 2019. It was not as controversial as this is, because 2023, an incumbent President Muhammadu Buhari will be stepping down after a mandatory 2 terms. So there is a need to choose another president, and Nigerians are almost at the polls. But at this time, political parties are choosing their candidate, and we think that it is the good time to have the early conversation on how the social media affects electioneering in Nigeria and what we need to do in preparation for 2023. I think the elections will be happening around January, so it's a good time for us to have that conversation well ahead. And to have this open mic conversation, again, I have with me my teammate, Onyinye is here, and Dennis. Onyinye and Dennis are very vast with some of these social conversations. Guys, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yep. Okay, so let's start. so let's start from the very beginning. Dennis, do you really think that the social media can in any way influence elections in Nigeria, in Africa?
Yes, I do. So, if you had asked me this last month, I would have said no, because I think that people are making their decisions based on conversations that they are having in their own homes. But my decision has changed. That's because I think that now that we've gotten closer and closer to the primary elections, the trend is becoming very different. So it's not just that politicians are campaigning on social media, but their supporters and their influencers are already doing the groundwork. There was a room, so Clubhouse has been like close to dead, at least the Nigerian sphere of Clubhouse. But then there was a room that had over 5,000 people. It was the topic of the room was Nigeria Decide, and it was basically conversing for vote for Peter Obi. And there were many people who had many things to say. And so I think that social media is still very, very useful and will influence the decision. The decisions that Nigerians are going to be making.
So Dami, do you agree?
Well, we've seen this play out like twice now. I mean, as far as I can remember, 2015 and 2019, we've seen social media like play a whole lot, like role, publicity, and all the rest in election period. And it seems like when the elections happen itself, it's a different ball game. But at the same time, it looks like this time it might be different. So yes, I'm like, part yes, part no, because we've seen this play out like several times and it didn't really have any effect. But it appears as though many Nigerians, so many youths who are online, there have been lots of push for people to get their voters card. There's been lots of push for people to look outside the normal box and think outside the box, and also just maybe, but I'm not certain.
All right.
So
I don't know if there is if we have any example of any candidate or any specific person in Nigeria or in Africa that we know that has won election because it was popular on social media.
I don't think
Not
anyone.
one single person all over the world.
No, you might not say all over the world.
Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez got.
Please, that's not
You
true.
said all over the world.
She didn't win because of social media.
She became famous because of Twitter.
She was already running. She did not win the election due to social media.
She was able
She
to
leveraged
canvas.
on social media.
She was able to, she leveraged social media.
Alexandra went door to door in her constituency.
Yes, she did the groundwork.
Wait.
Okay.
But she got money.
Okay, so
But she got money
Oh, Cortez.
because of
okay.
social media. She got money on social media.
okay, she got money on social media. So I know there are a couple of people in here that we are very popular on social media. I will speak specifically about Banky W, and a couple of other celebrities that I know at the point Nice was contesting, and these people had backing on social media, but for some reason that did not
I
translate.
didn't even know Nice ever.
Nice.
Oh, he did. He
contested
was
for-
climbing off like this
for Federal Assembly.
That first episode
Yeah,
was
yeah,
oh wow.
yeah. So-
wow.
So and that did not translate to votes in real life.
I mean, it might not translate to vote.
No, I'm
but I
asking on
think
here actually.
Onye-
What? I mean, what? I mean, we are all
Let's do
sharing
the right
optimism that social media might influence, but that is the reality.
Elections are not won on social media. That's the reality. Never talk more of in Africa. Because we a lot of people are on social media, a lot of our generation, but then it's not only our generation that gets to vote. In Africa, the ratio of those on social media and those that are not on social media are more. You need their votes. They don't care about the English we are speaking and how we are pontificating on social media. You can make noise, you can grow a following, you can leverage on social media, but does it win you elections? No. Because I feel, and it's because our in this terrain, our politics is different. It's very, very grassroots. It's very, very personal. It very much depends on who you know and the rooms you have access to. So yes, we can talk on social media, but then the real decision makers, do they care about our noise on social media? No, I don't think they do.
Okay, so the question then would be, what happened at NSAS? It started as a social media movement, but the mass of people we saw on the street, if that same set of people decide to vote for a candidate, will you win in Nigeria?
No. And it is different. People always raise the argument of NSAS. NSAS was a general problem. It was one thing we could agree on, that we're tired of the harassment from police people. Politics is people never agree. Even when it's a state politics, this one will be like, oh, this one is from my town. We have to, especially in a country like Nigeria where there are so many tribes, so many multi-ethnic society. If we cannot agree like that, so I think the example of NSAS is not even the same. It's not the same issue. It's like this was like an issue of young people being like, okay, that's it, guys.
Okay,
we're
so
done.
so can we all agree that Nigeria needs a good president?
Of course.
Damn it.
Definitely.
Then what's your perspective?
Yo, I mean,
No, I'm the one asking the question.
I
Damn it.
know now.
Damn it, can we?
Damn.
Okay, so because Onye is correct. We all agreed that the police harassment issue is serious, and we need a stop to it. But I'm also very sure that 9 out of 10 Nigerians agree that Nigeria is in a mess.
Yeah,
and we need to fix it.
Did you say 9 out of 10 need to fix it?
Feel that Nigeria
is in a mess. Yeah, but 7 out of 10 they won't care.
They don't care about the mess.
Yeah,
I'm shocked.
Want to jackpot?
That's the reality. They do not, and that's another thing. People have become jaded. They do not care about this. There's political apathy. They're like, my vote is not going to count. Why should I stress myself? Elections are dangerous. On election days, there's going to be security. Why should I go out and let them break my head? On top of what? Politicians that want to come and do what? That is the mindset. So why would they bother? That's reality right now.
But this sentiment, are they really true?
Very true.
So
At least for me, I know a lot of, you would call them educated or polymobile young people who have the same view. They don't care. Like he said,
do you agree?
Everybody wants to jackpot.
I mean, I do think that we need morale, political morale in this country. I agree to that, but I don't think that they do not care. I think that everything just looks very hopeless
Exactly. So they're like,
for the average Nigerian. And I think I'm thinking, what can I really do? There's nothing I can do because I don't want to run for office. So that's
why
my
don't you want to run
dilemma.
for office?
Because
So-
I'm better suited holding tech founders accountable for their actions.
Oh,
Okay, so so the question would really be that, did we get to this point of apathy because of social media, or I mean, are we basically using social media to gain a vicarious satisfaction? So I know I cannot vote in Osun State.
right.
Election is coming in Osun, and I'm tweeting,
Exactly.
Adeleke is a bad person, this person is a good
Right.
person, and all of that, because I know I'm not going to be on the street facing the cutlass and the gun. Or that has always been our reality. Social media is just amplifying
I mean, I
it.
just want to say, where is the platform for people to have that debate in this country aside on social media?
So having that debate on social media, has it somehow, once I'm tweeting, I have that sense that this is my own contribution
to the case.
to
Right.
national building, to the nation building. So if I do not go out there to vote, I've done my part.
Right.
I've sensitized those of you that wants to go and vote. And if millions of us are doing that, then who does the voting? Is that really the problem?
That's always been the issue. Like 2015, 2019, people tweet, people say things, but last, I feel like humans are greedy, but
But then I think
at
I
the
feel
point
like
of decision making,
Mhm.
one thing just happens.
So
and-
what happened in Edo when people started trending Edo no be Lagos? And that happened in reality. Are we saying Nigerians are not angry enough like the Edo people are? Where? Or
I mean,
that
Nigerians are angry, but I feel like it's such. There are so many things to consider. Okay, people might want to vote, yeah. They might be interested in getting registration, but do you know how convoluted and annoying the process is? I'm working Monday to Friday. You mean that it's Saturday I should rest? I should come and stand on the line for how many hours? And I'll go day to day. It's well, and then people are already angry. They're already tired, and then they are thinking to themselves, "Why do I have to put myself through this?" It's not the same people that have been here since. What are they going to do?
so
I'm looking at it from that perspective.
honestly, you've just thrown us into the next point of conversation, which is, why don't the young elites in Nigeria vote? People like you, people like me, people like Dennis that know the fact. We are just satisfied with writing and criticizing the leaders. We don't actually go out to vote. I'm not talking of Nigerians in diaspora. I'm talking of Nigerians in Lagos.
I've been intentionally disenfranchised, so there's nothing I can do.
So I mean, for the other guys on the table, what exactly is the problem? Because I just realized. Okay, so I give you an example. In my former workplace, we were 4 in a department. 4 of us are graduates. In fact, 2 studied abroad. And we were just having a conversation in 2019 before the election. And someone asked, how many of us in this room have PVC? None. How many of us will be voting on Saturday? The answer is none. So if you guys feel the leadership is not good and your drivers are the one voting, who is going to choose the president for you?
I think part of the problem why there's that death of morale is also because we don't even know who is running for office. We don't know the options that are.
That's the
available.
reason why you are not voting.
No, I voted last year.
So
this
last
was
year.
yourself and during the last election cycle.
No, it's not just myself. There are a lot of people like me who are not going to vote.
And I
Yeah.
think,
In fact,
I think they do not know what what is in these guys.
No,
manifesto.
I have a friend that usually leaves Nigeria a week before election.
To be honest, I
He would-
probably
he would
would
travel
not.
to
I
Dubai.
probably would not vote. I have once.
Why?
Covered-
Why?
I've once covered an election. Was it a national election? I think so. I covered it as an election observer, as press. It was so stressful. There was no boss. Everywhere was deserted. You mean I should trek from my? Why do we have to suffer so much because I want to vote? I'm not gonna go. I won't put myself through that. One time, I think it was 2016. I was going to vote. They were fighting. I got to the road and bottles were littered. I went back to my house. There's election and there's no security. You want me to die because I want to vote? Or let's talk about the stress. Why are transport people, why didn't I allowed to run that day? How do I get to my station? What if I work here and I live far and I only got the opportunity to register at the polling unit close to my work? How do I get to my voting unit? How do I vote? And we can't do it online. We have to be there physically. So they don't think of all these things in a place like Lagos. It is stressful for me. So that's the reason. Security and the stress. I will not.
Okay, but then is you think people don't vote because they are not inspired enough by the candidate?
I think so. I think that if people know who they are voting for,
you wouldn't
and if
mind
they
the
believe-
bottles and the guns.
and if they believe, it's a collection of things, right? A series of things, including what she said. People are not being secured. I agree with her, and I also think that people are not inspired by the people running for office, largely because they don't know them, and the people that are running for office themselves are not really campaigning to get their message out to people to know what exactly they are doing.
I think Onyinye's point is correct, and Dennis' point is also correct, because I know Nigerians had more votes in 2015 than we had in 2019. So most likely a lot of people wanted Buhari to topple the government, so they went en masse to vote for him. And in 2011, when Babatunde Fashola, no, not even Jonathan, yes, got his second term ticket in Lagos, he had about 1.5 million votes, and that has been the highest any Lagos governor had ever gotten. So it could be that people just wanted this guy to continue, and they had to vote for him. So we don't have enough
data on the people, like he said, like Dennis said.
We don't even have inspirational manifestos.
Exactly, we don't even know them. So a lot of times you're just hearing a name, this person, like, who's this one? I beg, I'm not going anywhere. But like you said, the Fashola issue, I think he was loved. In his first tenure, he did a lot. Lagosians coming out in number to vote him that way was like, we like what you're doing, keep the good work going. But then when we have people running that we don't really like, who's this one? I should come out of my house. Oh, that's really the attitude. So they don't vote.
Yeah. So to the last but one question. History has shown that the candidates that are very inspirational, outgoing, they have fantastic manifestos, those end up winning elections in Nigeria
Because they don't campaign.
They
They don't campaign, and they don't campaign well.
The candidates
you're
that are
running
very
for office-
popular, like Banky W, Street Walk, house to door to
Banky
door,
W did not campaign the way he's
marketplaces.
supposed to campaign
No, he
in
did.
a Nigerian election.
No, he did.
Exactly. I agree with
He
Dennis.
did not share
No.
money, but he
I agree with
campaigned.
Dennis. I think he did a very
Western
yes,
campaign.
his campaign was so western.
So
like,
what-
what is
what-
going
what's
on?
the ideal
You wanted to
Nigerian
do,
campaign?
yeah,
What
like
is going on? Like all this shirt sharing and sharing food hamper. Like you're not
Like
from New
it-
York. Calm
I
down.
mean,
So how was it supposed to do? Let's have like it.
I just
we are
felt
not experts, but
It just wasn't Nigerian.
wasn't
That it just
Nigerian.
felt very like.
It
No,
did not
if you
connect.
ask
It
me,
didn't connect.
I mean,
What's
it
going
did its
on?
campaign properly, right?
so sorry,
Yeah, that's
Dami.
your opinion. You can have it.
Properly,
so-
but it was
sorry,
not
Dami.
Nigerian. It's not, we are not saying it's not proper, but it wasn't
Banky
Nigerian.
W contested with Jide Obanikoro, right? I know Banky W did street walks where they carried my megaphone and went on the street sharing flyers. Banky W went to marketplaces, spoke with people. He did market gatherings with women, like you said. He shared food. He gave people his branded, and a lot of people wore it. There were pictures, market, people dancing with him on the street, and all of that. I guess the purpose of having that open conversation with the people on the street was to tell them what he wanted,
What he wanted
to do.
to do.
But the person he contested against,
Did not
Did
even
not-
go up to that.
people did not see him on the street. Maybe he was
He has a
driving.
Lagos first agenda now. At the moment.
You get my point. So if
Technically,
someone
yes,
who spoke with the people, who shared ideas, did not win, and we've seen that consistently. In fact, in the present PDP primaries, I think the only candidate that are consistently shared his story is Peter Obi,
And now he has left.
and he's no longer in the race. So the question is, isn't that the reason why people don't really just go all out on the manifesto. Let me just share money and move on.
Ideas does not win you election. That you're being, is this a Martin Luther
But-
moment? That
but-
you're being
And I
inspirational
also
does not
think
mean
that-
that we should vote for you.
But
And I
so
also
so
think
what
they-
you're
sorry.
saying what you're
Wait.
saying is that because social media is a place of ideas.
I also think that there's a tone deaf in their campaign, and so they're not campaigning about how am I going to make sure these people can pay rent. The meat and potatoes conversation. There's a lot of big grammar. There's a lot of electricity, and good roads. What about food?
The little things.
Things are very expensive.
So did
When I
Buhari
retire
tell you
when
that?
I'm 60 or 65, would I retire with dignity?
Did Buhari tell you all of this?
Buhari did not. Buhari ran a very terrible campaign, in my own
But
opinion.
did you win?
I don't know what happened.
So
to be
the-
honest, I can't say.
So the question
I
I'm
can't say
so
if
the,
he won the
so,
election
so the
or
question
not.
I'm asking is if that is a consistent trend, where one person tells you everything
Beautiful
he
things.
wants to do on social media, he's on Twitter space, you're asking him questions, he's very open with you, and there is this other guy that doesn't say anything, just does the regular things, talk to the delegates, share money, stand on stage,
They win
Nigeria
because
from
they
top
have-
to bottom,
they win
top to
because they've
bottom,
been able to
and he wins the
install-
election. Do you really think
Those
going
guys are
forward,
winning,
hold on,
sorry.
do you really think going forward that the political class will see conversations on the social media space as a serious
vital.
objective?
I think it's a serious objective. Those guys are winning because they've been able to install agents in almost all the polling
Grassroots
units. They've done the grassroots work. That's why those people are.
So they don't need the social media.
They need social
You
media.
can
For what?
leverage on
Because-
social media,
because
but
you
it
also
doesn't
need-
win you elections.
So-
I'm going to give an example. Sorry, the Anambra elections that we just had, that Charles Soludo emerged winner. One of the contestants was what's his name, Valentine.
Ozigbo.
Yes, I like the way he spoke. I like his diction. I like his packaging. He had all the inspirational. I have a dream. Martin Luther vibe, which young people are supposed to like, but I didn't think he was competent. It's not about English. Do people
Yeah.
perceive you to be competent? You can be speaking a lot of grammar, but all these village people that are like, or maybe let's say all these market women, they are like, this one is speaking too much grammar. Can he handle area boys that are here? Can he handle? Because this grammar is not by grammar. Yes, you will talk to people who understand grammar, but in your constituency are also people who are like in the grassroots. Can you handle the agri? Can you handle the issues?
Can you even get along with them? Because that's also
Exactly.
key.
Okay. So yeah. So guys, the summary of the conversation is to an extent you need the social media.
Yeah.
But to an extent, the social media cannot guarantee. So it should not be the absolute. Should not be the only thing, the only
should do.
tool you should depend on.
Right.
But I mean, this is a final thoughts from everybody. What do we do? What is the agenda for 2023? What can we do to ensure that our part as a people who are very prominent on social media, we can influence the elections for next year? What are the action points?
I'm on number one. We are not leaving the ghetto. Bottom line, Nigerian elections are not leaving the ghetto.
Yeah.
Like,
so,
yeah,
what should people do with their reality in mind?
Literally,
Get to the gutter.
there's really not much you can do with social media. The bottom line is there will still be the same set of winners and losers. The winners would be the social advocates, the activists who become super popular as a result of next year election, make so much money, and probably jackpot at the end of the day. Then the people who would win the elections themselves then come back to social media to begin to tweet what they are doing and all. The losers would be people that lose, and their supporters. And hopefully Nigerians don't join that loser part. So that's it. So we'll be fine last.
I also feel like Nigerians need to get very serious. Like all Nigerians also need to get very serious.
Yeah, so
about
I'm actually asking
kind of
about
Nigerian
action points. So the first thing I think is everybody on social media should have their PVCs, be registered to vote.
I thought you said
If
PVC
the process is less stressful,
Yeah.
fine.
The way INEC is doing it. No, the
If they
way
stress me,
INEC is doing it now, it's very easy. As a matter of
Have you
fact,
tried
I did mine online
You should
and it's
try it,
very
I
easy.
yeah.
will.
It's
I
very
did
easy.
mine online.
In fact,
Okay.
INEC is setting up street registration point,
Oh,
just
that's
like NIN.
nice.
So they
That's
just
nice.
show up on your street, you line up and you do that, and that is very fantastic. So everybody should intentionally seek to get their PVC. The second thing is, for those of us that are very smart like Dennis, let's begin to have conversations with people around us.
Right.
Your aboki megad, you're the person selling granite across your street, your driver, even when you enter the marua or the bus, have enlightening conversations with people. You don't know how far it can go, because a
Right,
lot of
that's
people feed off the meal. It is what people tell them in the buses and in the
that they say
maruas
too.
that they
That's
take home.
true. That's
Actually, so if you are hearing, I know I've not taken a bus in a long time, but I had to go to Mushin, and I took a bus, and bro, the conversations I had people
Saying it.
Yeah.
saying in the bus, I felt irritated because most of it were not founded. They were just actually not true. And I didn't even know where to start from. So it's important that we join the conversations and we keep telling people this
Yeah.
is the truth.
As informed
And I also
people,
think
Yeah.
since we are
the
informed.
media as well has a whole lot of work, much more work to
People,
do.
you are
In
the one
terms
that
of
said people don't read the
presenting-
grammar now.
No,
People don't have time.
I mean, in terms of what you were saying about, because I think that everything trickles down from people that do read, like all the information that eventually trickles to the bottom are people who have read.
It depends on the people paying the people who have
Who
read.
have read. And depends on the source of the people who have
Yeah,
read.
absolutely.
Exactly.
Which is why the media should present factual reports and all the reports and all
Yeah,
the
so all of you
perspectives
that are
and
sharing,
multiple
that are sharing on your
perspectives.
church WhatsApp
groups.
group and all that, share the actual information.
Yeah.
All right.
Facebook too, please. Very important. Before my auntie starts sharing something with me, please share something right on
And
Facebook.
also, like, just so we
All
can
right.
also be able
All
to
right,
fact
so
check things.
final words. Onyinye, what?
Social media does not win elections. You can leverage on social media to build a following, to get your thoughts out there, but do not ignore the grassroots. That's
Fantastic.
where the votes are.
Yeah, Dennis, final words.
Yeah, do not ignore the grassroots. My final word is more about the role of media in this presidential campaign. I think that the media needs to do much more work. I think that the media needs to invest. Publishers should invest in covering this presidential election, in covering all of them, and covering them very aggressively.
Beginning with the primaries. We need to
Yes,
we
yes.
need to know the name of the
We-
delegates.
I was saying
and
the
hold
list.
debates.
I was seeing the list for both parties, and I was like, "Who is this guy?" Sorry.
We don't know the delegates. All right, that means final word.
Last, in everything you do, don't let 500 naira or 1,000 naira or one bag of rice dissuade and make you make decisions now for the next 12 years.
Tell us. Because people, you see the same set of people trending article, trending.
Yeah, don't let one bag of rice, please. I'll be out in the next 4 years. Joma cover me. But yeah, you guys everyone should get their PVCs like David said and vote wisely.
Yeah, thank you very much. So, thank you for joining this episode of Techbytes. We're going to be having open mic once every month, last Friday of every month, and we're thinking of getting you, our listeners, to call in and have conversations with us during our open mic session. Look forward to the next one. We're going to come up with an exciting topic. By that time, we will know who the two major candidates, hopefully, are, and we'll be able. Maybe we'll have a conversation around their manifesto. Special thanks to my colleagues Dami, Onye, and Dennis for joining us today. We'll see you same time next week. Remember to follow us on social media. We are technext.ng on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, Bogboe. Follow us, right?
Spotify.
Yeah,
Of course,
and
you're listening to it on
Spotify.
Spotify.
All right, so
Alright.
Dami, what's your handle on social media?
Act-Down07.
Okay, Onye.
At Ego the Goddess.
Good. Dennis.
Dala Dennis.
Correct. I'm at aphorisms_. Thank you. We'll see you next week.
All right. Ciao.
Bye, guys.